The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. Right now, we kick things off. About 24 minutes to go until the start of trading, and we're going to have a little bit of volatility on the opening bell. How about 35% with Canada? Yeah, that's the tariff. Comes out last night. You see the S&Ps at about 8 o'clock. We trade from 63.29 down to almost 62.80, and we're right at that low right now. Overnight, you bounced to 63.10. Okay, but we are off by about 0.6% in the S&Ps. NASDAQ 100, you're off by about 0.5% or 110 points in the red, 22,904. Dow off 0.6% right now, 281 points in the red, 44,627. And the Russell off by 0.8%. How about Bitcoin? How about it, baby? It is not stopping. I was on the show yesterday, okay, and we were talking about 131. I didn't think we'd get here by today. But boy, look at the breakaway, right? A to B to C, 618 pullback, and boom. The D point, it's coming, 131,000. Remarkable that that's where we are, man. But you're talking about Bitcoin, $119,000 per Bitcoin this morning, folks. The spirit animals are alive and well in the crypto market, in Bitcoin especially. We go to crude, up 76 pennies right now at 67.33. Crude just chopping around in its range. Now, on the move last night, we got some move in the dollar. We got some move in gold. The 10-year, lower price, higher yield right now. You got the 10-year off by 9 ticks. We got a 110 handle again, 110.30. You got a 10-year yield, 4.39. Okay, 4.39, the yield on that 10-year, as we're climbing again. Back to this 110.21. That was the low this week, which correlates to higher yield. If you remember, we had been talking about that, when you back it up to July 1st, we had the 10-year yield at 4.19%, okay, 4.19. You accelerated to like 4.43. And we're coming in to test that level yet again as you got higher yield. Higher yield correlating to a stronger dollar at 97.81 right now, okay, and that correlates. What's remarkable, though, how about gold? Catching a bid, even with the stronger dollar right now. Gold surging up by $43 or 1.3%. You see the low a couple days ago. That was Wednesday, right? We're making lows at 32.90. Yesterday, middle of the day, 33.20. We're at 33.70 right now. Gold finding a bid. All right. We jump to the U.S. dollar, Canada. Wait, I'm not. Let's put it back to a 5-minute. Yeah, not sure what happened here. That news on 8:30. Nonetheless, we're climbing back. But yeah, let's bring over the headlines. I'm sure we're all aware if you're watching this show by now. But yes, 35% tariff on Canadian imports August 1st. Seems like he's cementing again. It's one of these things where when the market catches a real bid, it gives the president some room to clap back on the tariff front. Trump cited fentanyl as a reason for the tariffs, while also complaining about retaliatory duties. And yeah, Mark Coney, Canada has made vital progress to stop the scourge of fentanyl, and so fentanyl comes into things. So we throw a little bit of volatility on things on Friday morning, to say the least. All right. Let's jump around to some of the equities. I believe this is the last day of Prime Day. We'll see. Amazon, you're going to open in the positive by about 75 pennies right now at the market. You see the volatility. We drive lower. I say with the market, as in you accelerated, but We get it all back, actually. Look at that acceleration on the tariffs. You get it all back this morning, Prime Day. And I am going to make some purchases. You know, I was thinking about air filters, stuff like that you need. Again, it's a need or a want, right? These sales, the FOMO, all that stuff drives us from that want to need, like, you know, anyway. Amazon shares up by 75 pennies today. Walmart was trading lower yesterday, and we're continuing that. Slightly in the red. We'll call it flat right now for Walmart. But yeah, quite a trade lower for Walmart yesterday. Trading at 94.84 right now. And yeah, they're going to be dealing with some problems if there's some lag in tariffs. Target on the flip side. Quite an acceleration yesterday. I tell you, I was in Target yesterday. And they got, it seems like they're clearing out the old toys on clearance versus having a sale. Now, that can be a good thing for their equity sometimes. When you clear out that old inventory, you take it off your books, you get it what it is. But I tell you, check this out. These are the types of clearance. So, Jurassic World, we went and saw the Jurassic World movie this weekend, which was pretty good. A little bit long, I mentioned. 2 hours and 13 minutes for a dinosaur movie where I'm bringing kids. Tommy's 4 years old. He was a champ. He survived the movie, as in he made it. 2 hours, 13 minutes, plus probably 5 or 6 previews when you go into it. But nonetheless, Jurassic World's out, right? They got a whole bunch of new dinosaurs that come with the Jurassic World. And so one of the older dinosaurs that they're selling at Target usually is like $56, okay? And I'm talking about a dinosaur that's like a foot and a half long. It makes sounds and it moves when you press a button. You know, it roars, all that stuff. So they sell for like $56, which is bonkers. So bottom line is, that toy last night was on clearance for 36, then 26, then $17 for a $56 toy built around Jurassic World when a new movie just came out. I said to myself, man, they are really just marking it down to get their items out, and that was like it across the board. Now, Walmart's got their deal days going on, but Target's got deals going on as well. You spend $40 and you get $10 back on their toys. But what I found is that it seemed like they were just trying to clear out old inventory, which is not quite how the sales, but hey, sometimes you know how inventories go. All right, let's check out this market right now as we get some negative action. We check out the price and volume, okay? Now, on the S&Ps, okay, I'll show you this. You're talking about, yeah, that's the chart I wanted. Look at the volume numbers. So we talked a lot about the volume earlier in the year, right? When you had massive selling early on in the year, prior to Liberation Day. Oh, was it April 2nd? Yeah, April 2nd. Man, I can't believe that's a daily and you go from 20,000 to 40,000, right? Yeah, April 2nd to April 9th was our reprieve. Remarkable. But look at the volume trend since then. Okay, you go back to April 16th. Be interesting to see what we get from today. We got 15 minutes to go until the opening bell. You got markets down about 5 to 0.6%. But I don't have to tell you what that line says. This volume is just lightening up across the board for a period, folks, of 3 months we're talking about here. It is July 11th. That trend began basically on April 11th. There's your day. Right, we got over the volatility, April 9th, April 10th, things calmed a bit. Since then, the market just fades higher on lighter and lighter volume across the board. Well, we got a little bit of a wake-up this morning. We'll see how the market can handle it in 15 minutes. Stay tuned. We're coming back. We'll take a look at some equities, folks. Don't go away. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. NASDAQ 100 off by about 0.5%, S&P's off 0.6%, Dow off 0.7%, and the Russell off about 0.9%. As we kick off Friday trading right now, we jump over to crude. So crude up 96 pennies. Been a lot of pressure to crude on the downside. When you look at a longer term chart, right, you pull up the 5-year weekly. It is remarkable. You accelerate higher in 2022 to 130. You double top from there. And of course the war. Yeah, just like that, man. This is like a new level of normal. And guess what? It's not surprising when you see headlines like this. So even the Saudis are lifting their oil output above their quota in a rare OPEC plus breach. And yeah, the kingdom raised crude production by roughly 700,000 barrels a day to 9.8 million barrels a day. A day. 70% of that additional supply they added was exported. Recent months have seen a significant slowdown in oil demand, especially in developing countries. But yeah, Saudi Arabia raised their crude output far above the quota last month, joining other producers in a rush to export oil out of the Persian Gulf as Israel went to war with Iran. Iraq, Kuwait, and the UAE also raised production and exceeded their quotas. Iran's production declined by 400,000 barrels a day in June from a 7-year high to 3.08. And so, yeah, demand, right? World oil consumption, check this out, will grow. Now, it's still growing, okay? It's just growing at a declining percentage. World oil consumption will grow by 700,000 barrels a day this year, but that is the slowest pace in 16 years if you exclude that 2020 slump when everything shut down, right? Yeah, look at those increases. So, we talked to Teddy Kegstad on Wednesdays. We're watching this crude market, but boy, when you find the ability for this to really push in price, it's very difficult when you have the Saudis and everybody out there just pushing out plenty of oil. All right, we talk about that accident that happened in Air India. I was reading this one last night. And what's remarkable here is there's a lot at stake, of course. You have Boeing 787 Dreamliner in here. Okay, you got GE and their engines in here. Preliminary findings indicate that switches controlling fuel flow to the jet's two engines were turned off. Now, these things take a lot of time, but intuitively, you say, how does that even happen? Now, if they're going through some type of emergency, obviously things are getting triggered to restart, etc. The switches would normally be on. Seems like they should put in, obviously, during the flight. Unclear how or why they were turned off. It's unclear whether the move was accidental or intentional, or whether there was an attempt to turn them back on. If the switches were off, that could explain why the jet's emergency power generator, went into action right before it crashed. But yeah, this is an extraordinary case where you lose power in both engines simultaneously right after takeoff, and then you have that they have the fuel flow switches. This is the stuff where you say to yourself, in this day and age, where you have technology where you are, you have AI where you are, it's remarkable that, could it be pilot error? I mean, maybe that was what was going on, as they had some other errors going on, of course. We take a look at Boeing. Been quite a bounce, plowing higher from that accident. That accident, you were 212, you drove down to a low of 194, you're pushing 226 with the market as we push higher right now. You take a look at this thing on a weekly. So we're right into this bar from January of 2024 when you ripped lower from 263 to 200 in the span of a few weeks at the beginning of 2024. And that is a big volume day. The high, 233.85. And we opened that bar at 228. So we're going to have to get above that volume bar January 8th, the week of 2024. Jump over to GM. All the volume at the lows with the tariffs. And yeah, similar deal. You can see on some of these equities, right? On a volume basis, the same thing's going on with GM that's going on with the market right now. And yeah, it could be a consolidation. Could be a little bit of distribution. Okay? Or it could be just the market trading higher on vapor-thin volume, man. And we're dealing with some serious volatility in terms of news volatility, right? Event-driven volatility right now. And no matter how you agree on the politics, you got to agree that as the market proceeds higher and higher and higher, it does give the president the ability to come out and be firmer and firmer on the pushback of whether it's tariffs, policies, etc., that the market might find volatile, to put it lightly. And that's going to be a headwind. We'll see how the market reacts to it today. Today's going to be an important day in the market because we've seen a lot of the tariff threats this week in terms of saying, first it was August 1st, then it was August 1st, saying that deadline's not going to change, right? And in the context of the 35% on Canada there, okay, what's also in here, and raise the prospect of increasing levies on most of the other countries. Okay, Trump also told NBC News that he's eyeing blanket tariffs of 15 to 20% on most trading partners, with the current number being 10%, basically. Now, this does not include goods in terms of Canada in the USM Mexico-Canada agreement. which is why there's some pause there in terms of the reaction. But yeah, 15 to 20% on most trading partners. Boy, you get 35% candidate, you get 20% on everybody else. We jump over the VIX this morning. Still a relative paltry 1684, right? No real fear in this market whatsoever right now. I don't know. I feel like things are ratcheting up again. Time flies. It's July 11th. You're talking about coming back. We're 3 weeks away from the first, folks. That's it. We get a Fed meeting in between there. Okay? We got a Fed meeting on July 30th. And then we got the Friday coming in for now the deadline talking about tariffs. So get ready at the end of July, baby. Watch out. All right, we jumped to some airlines. Delta with some strong numbers on their outlook yesterday. Today, we're giving it back a little bit with the market. You jump over to United, slightly in the red after plowing higher as well. JetBlue, decent day yesterday, but percentage-wise, not where the other... I mean, look at JetBlue. You're just back to where you were on Tuesday. Just struggling, man. Apple shares slightly in the red. And NVIDIA, first $4 trillion company, slightly in the red as well. Stay tuned, folks. S&P's negative by 36. We're coming back for the opening bell. Don't go away.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in a fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got equities open, market open, and we got the market catching a small bid right now on that opening bell. S&P's off by just 27. You see, we just popped 10 points from where we were. We're going to get a reaction to that possibility in the market, reacting with some buying right now. As we get the NASDAQ 100 off just 60 points, Dow off by 230, and Bitcoin at 118,000. You talk about it, man. We jump over to the dollar right now, DXY, sitting at about 97.77, and yeah, gold. It's a strong move for gold, up by 1.1% right now. We are pushing these highs on gold right now. Similar thing for gold, though. You got a little bit of a drop-off in volume if you look at where we are, okay? Now, gold is not plowing higher, though. Gold, we're just consolidating, versus the S&P, we're actually just keep pushing higher, right? The whole trend since where we were on basically April 11th, exactly 3 months ago, higher price, versus you got a gold contract, okay, that since April 16th, since really almost April 22nd, right? This high that we had, that spike high of April 22nd, volume's been declining, but we haven't pulled back or moved in price. We're just consolidating near the highs right now. And yeah, we jump over to NVIDIA. Even on a market red day, they're not selling NVIDIA. Look at this thing, man. Whew. Remarkable to remember, every dollar is $25 billion in NVIDIA. NVIDIA right now, in the green on a red market day, up by 0.3%, 146.55, and you're talking about an equity, $4.01 trillion. 4.01. Amazon spikes to 224. We give it up briefly. We're still up by 0.5% right now. You go over to Apple shares, down by 0.8%. Meta, quite the acceleration to lower prices yesterday. We're challenging those lows right now in Meta, down by about 0.9%, off $6 to $720 from Meta. Tesla accelerates higher yesterday. We're slightly red with the market this morning, down by 0.6%. Let's take a look at Meta. Yeah, we trade higher on June 27th. This is a daily we're looking at. We get above that high with less volume. So that's your high out there on Meta. The high is 735 out there. And on a daily basis, you did 18.7 million shares. And then you rip lower in the next couple days. I mean, all these equities could use a little bit of a good consolidation, folks. We got double top here from that rip lower on the tariffs, 740 to 500. We're right back to that technical area right now. And on a weekly, okay. Yeah, their earnings from January were a big one. We got the tariff lows out there. But at these recent highs, on a weekly basis, February 10th, you only did 67 million shares. Now, I say that, and look how close you were, right? So we do 67.39 million, and then we do 66.9, just under that number. Yeah. So we'll see if we can commit to that number. Meta's going to need more volume to break through that area, the highs of February. All right, the market gives back that little bit of acceleration. You put it on a 1-minute chart. Poof. I expect we're going to see a little volatility today, folks. We jump over to that VIX. VIX trading at 1670 right now. All right, let's jump around to some equities here. So AMC is trading higher, and yeah, they get an upgrade. Wedbush says they're poised to benefit from a more consistent release slate over the next several quarters, okay? And they're completing what will be the last major share issuance for the foreseeable future. I'll tell you, folks, as somebody that saw Jurassic World, okay, on Sunday, this is one of the biggest movies coming out right now, Jurassic World, right? There's only one Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise. It's up there with the good ones in terms of the Marvel, in terms of whatever it is, okay? Superman's coming out shortly. There is a good slate of movies. Now, I went to a movie theater in Lakeland, Florida, Lakeside Plaza, I think it is, in a decent mall, outdoor mall, but a decent one. But the problem with movie theaters right now is, number one, we went to a showing at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Okay, 4 o'clock on Sunday, maybe a little bit late in the afternoon, on an opening July 4th weekend, because digest this, right? And even when it goes to AMC. So here's how it goes. Now, they had showings for this theater every 30 to 40 minutes for Jurassic World. And I don't even think the theater I went to was AMC. Okay, I'll pull it up. But either way, it speaks to the whole environment right now, because look at this equity. And yeah, at any price, okay, look at this equity. This is the equity you're buying, folks. Somebody shows you this chart. What do you say? Right, you see, you're out of your mind on a longer term basis. Okay? Now, that 726 high, that was the GameStop, meme-stop mania. Okay? God bless everybody buying, the soul that bought AMC at $726.20, looking for the momentum train. I'll get it out. Look at this thing, man. I'm going to put it on a 2-year daily. You can't even see the moves. There we go. So the point being, I show up at 4 o'clock, okay? There's about 250 seats or something in the theater, and they had a 4 o'clock showing and a 4:30 showing. And there's 2 adults, 2 kids. And I asked them how many people were in the 4 o'clock showing, because we were right on time, and then how many people were signed up already that had bought tickets for the 4:30 showing, because it was like 4:05, and we wanted to go in, go to the bathroom, grab some popcorn, right? And I didn't know if the theater was going to be packed. And the 4 o'clock showing only had 50 tickets out of the 250 sold, and the 4:30 showing only had about 22 tickets out of the 250. Now, I'm sure, and we ended up going to the 4:30. That way we could take our time. We went inside, we went to the bathroom with the boys, grabbed some big, large popcorn. But if a movie like this on a Sunday afternoon of July 4th weekend, when July 4th falls on a Friday, you go see the movie on Sunday, and you're telling me those theaters are barely packed, and here's the last part of it. Do you know why they're barely packed? Because many of the movie theaters in this country are in need of a severe upgrade. Yeah. And so the whole experience right now is not really what it should be, up to par, when you're paying, the last kicker of it, $64 for a simple 2 adults, 2 kids Sunday show. That's it. I didn't purchase any special, D-box where they move. I didn't reserve my seats. Those are not reserved seats. That's just 2 adults, 2 kids, bottom of the line basics. So yes, there is a dramatic problem, man. Dramatic. And yeah, my Thinkorswim's working perfectly out there. I know some people might be having some issues I'm seeing in the den, but that's what I'm on right now, and it is operating. And as the market's moving, and we're getting some selling, folks, keep those spikes up, okay? Because this market is complacent. It is complacent. Doesn't mean that it can't proceed, but it is complacent right now to the risks. Because the president's speaking, and the market's not taking them literally. It's not. It started moving where everything is just a baseless threat. Because if you think that this market should be sitting at 6,300 with tariffs are going to be 20% across the board and 35% with Canada, that's not where it's going to be. S&P's off by 38. We'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&Ps approaching the lows we hit last night on that news. 62.83 right now. You got as low as 62.83, and we're actually breaking that number right now. Pre-market, 6 a.m., you're as low as 62.76. We're trading at 62.83 right now. You got a little volume coming in. As we're 12 minutes into the trading day, there's your S&Ps. You got the NASDAQ 100 right now, off by about 0.6% as well. And yeah, let's jump over to NVIDIA. It's not happening there, man. Everyone's selling everything else, and they're buying NVIDIA up by $1.32 to $1. You have to chuckle, man. And this is where, hey, the cool thing about when equities perform like this is, yeah, okay, there is fear in this market right now on tariff concerns, but guess what? Not for NVIDIA, man. And look at this thing, okay? This is shaping up. We're breaking the B point. Okay, the last couple weeks, we have broken the B point. Now, the B point on this equity on a weekly basis, you drive up here on almost a billion shares, 973 million shares the week of the election. Yeah, so about a billion shares, about a billion the following week, and then you roll over on November 18th a bit with 1.4. Now, you broke that first acceleration. I would say that was the point, about a billion shares. You did it nicely, man. You did it on 1.07 billion shares the week of June 23rd. Last week for July 4th, on 3.5 trading days last week, folks, you did 870 million shares. That is strong volume. Now, this week, probably not going to be the case. You're only at 650 million shares, and all we have left is today. But that was a decisive break above that B point. And if you're talking about where does that take us? That A to B, C to D would finish at $190, which would be another $25 from where we're trading at right now, which would be another $625 billion in market cap if you make it up there. 4.6 trillion you'd be pushing at 190, but that's how it looks right now. You double top, you break above that area, you do it with 1.07 billion shares on NVIDIA, and on a day like today, the market's speaking and saying, where are we trying to hide on a day like today? We're hiding in NVIDIA of all equities. Watch out, baby. Microsoft down by 0.5%. Amazon, they rip lower from their open. Now I say lower. You were up to 224. You're down to 222.62 right now, but flat for Amazon shares. Walmart's slightly in the green on a day like today where we're selling equities. We jumped to some of the other high flyers recently. Yeah, Oracle off by 1.9%. Dell off by 1% right now. Now, not in Bitcoin land. MicroStrategy up by 2.7%. Take a look at this thing. Okay. This is where things get dicey on MicroStrategy. We got a triple top here. We're coming into the bar from the election. 440 was the high the week after that, and we have highs out there from May, and we're just above those highs. Whew. Jump over to Coinbase. Talk about a roller coaster. Coinbase, all the acceleration yesterday, trading a little bit lower with the market this morning, off by 1.2%. All right, we'll check out other equities that are moving with some individual news this morning. And you got Levi's out with their numbers. And strong numbers. 22 cents a share is that what they come in with. The market was looking for only 13 cents a share. Revenue was $1.45 billion. The market was looking for $1.37 billion. Look at this run, right? You know, it's interesting on this equity, right? I saw an interview with the CEO of this company years ago. And at that time, they were talking about, look. So the tough part about this is, you know, you're coming into this double top area from last year. You traded higher in April of 2024. Look at the monthly. Do 100 million shares, which is huge for this equity. I mean, think about it. We did more shares in April of that year as you pushed higher. But guess where that was? The close of that bar was $21.22. We're trading at $21.01 right now. Let's put it back to a weekly. Yeah, there's your volatility on their earnings of April of last year, and we're right in that same bar. And you can see what happens, right? We have all the volatility there. We trade higher on lighter volume. You get to their next earnings event, and it's like, oh, surprise, that's not the case. And they do it again the following one. They survive one earnings event. Their earnings come basically during the bottom of the market, and now we're beating again. But yeah, you're coming right into this high we had September last year, and we have this bar here that's going to take some volume to get through. That is a big number from April of 2024. But nonetheless, Levi's up by 6.7%. So their CEO said, the way that we size and wear clothing is going to change. And this one really made sense because we all know, right? You put on a piece of clothing and it's got, whether it's pants, you're talking about 2 measurements. That's it, man. 2 measurements. Now you got skinny jeans, you got relaxed fit, right? You got all this stuff. But no, the way it's going to work is they're going to take a picture of you. They're going to take a 3D rendering of you, your body, and they're going to size those jeans to fit you. That's it. It's happening. It's not there yet. But clothes in general, it would make sense that we've been sizing things like that forever. And you think about the technology we have right now. Speaking of clothes, look at Lulu, man. Oh, there we go. Yeah, something is potentially going on. Thanks for the feedback in the den. If you're placing orders, seems like Thinkorswim's having some issues. For charts alone, not so much. So look at Lulu, man. Coming into the lows of 2024. Yeah, they had a big problem in their earnings last. That's a nice little sign of strength, though, June 23rd. Let's put it back to a daily. Yeah, this is going to be an issue, filling this gap from 280 to 320. Yeah, a lot of people stuck in this equity and losing positions, man. Look at this thing. Everybody in Lulu. Man, everybody in Lulu since COVID hits in a losing position. Whoo! There's not a lot of equities that you can say that with, folks. Right? We're a lot higher in this market. And all they are is back to pre-COVID levels. Right there. And I mean, look at this chart. Where's the volume, folks? Where's the volume on this chart? Where's the volume? I don't have to tell you. It's right there. It's last month. It's to the downside. Dramatic strength that we have not seen. Think about this. Haven't seen that type of volume on this chart ever on a monthly, right? Is it ever? Well, I guess so. You go back to when this equity was trading at $50, you got some of that volume. But yeah, I wouldn't be buying Lulu just yet. What are we talking about here? Sometimes it's interesting to think that you look at an equity and say, yeah, we were just trading at $500. I'm going to start looking at, well, keep in mind, this is still a $28 billion company, and you got pressure to the downside right now on Lulu. Off by another 0.8% with the market. All right, folks, one more segment. S&P's off by 33. We're getting a little bid. Come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We check in on the World Series of Poker, and this gentleman, let's get his name correct here, Sebastian Schultz. He is leading the way right now. They got 200 players left. Let's see, 202 players out of 9,700, folks. They're playing down. Today will technically be day 6, I believe, of the tournament. And, you know, it's remarkable here. Okay, it's all remarkable, of course. They're playing for $10 million. The The people right now are guaranteed, they're guaranteed like 50 or 60 grand, I think, for 200th place. But here's a quick lesson, okay, of tilt. Now, this gentleman who's leading the tournament right now has 12 million chips, I think. He wins back-to-back hands against one gentleman in particular. Now, the first hand is an absolute cooler, okay? If you know poker, the first hand is aces versus nines on an ace-9 4-4 board, right? So one guy's got, this guy Schultz has aces full. Not sure how the action went. I'm guessing he checked his aces full on the flop. The other gentleman gets his 2-outer 9, which is the last thing he wants. And so what happens is Schultz wins that pot and leaves the other guy with 3.5 million in chips, okay? Now, check it out. The very next hand, the winner Schultz raises to 85,000. Now, that gentleman ends up having Jack-9 of clubs, very standard raise in this hand, okay? The same guy who just won raises Jack-9 of clubs. The guy who had just lost, here's the mistake. Guy who had just lost, he's tilted, man, okay? And what's he do? He calls with King-6 offsuit from the small blind. There's your mistake. Earlier mistakes in poker sometimes lead you down a road to further mistakes. Well, what happens? Okay, the flop comes 5-7-8. His King-6 catches a turn straight with a 9. He's drawn dead to the guy's flush. And just like that, Michael Hawker's out of the tournament. And he would have had 4 million chips almost left on that second hand. The first hand's a cooler. Don't let some bad decisions, folks, all right? Tilt you. It goes in the market, too. That gentleman, it happens all the time. Okay, he made it through the first hand. That was a setup. He still had 4 million chips. He lost at the next hand. There's always another trade, folks. S&P's off by 31. Have a great Friday, folks. Stay tuned. We got Basil up next. Have a great Friday, folks. We'll see you later.